Hello, believers of Christ. Hope you're doing well. So today I'll be taking you guys through Genesis chapter 4, verse 26. And it says, Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. And at that time, the people began to call on the name of the Lord God. That's a word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this is the birth of Seth. The birth of Enosh. The birth of Enosh is seen here. And the origin of human worship. The origin of human worship to God. So this verse has 7 main teachings or lessons we can take away from it. The first one, a turning point in human spirituality. This verse marks the beginning of organized public worship and prayer. It shows that as sin increased in the world, some people still sought God or still sought after God. Yes. The second teaching, the calling on the Lord brings strength and guidance. The calling on the Lord God brings strength and guidance. Calling upon the name of the Lord God means seeking Him in prayer and worship. This teaches us to rely on God in every situation, as seen in Psalms chapter 50 verse 15. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. The third teaching, a godly line emerges through Seth. Unlike Cain's descendants, Seth's family sought after God. This reminds us that we can choose to follow God even in an ungodly world. Even in an ungodly world. Yes, that's very powerful. We can choose to follow God even in an ungodly world. That's very powerful. As seen in some parts of the world today. The fourth teaching, true worship comes from a heart that seeks God. Worship is not just rituals, but comes from a sincere desire to know God. As seen in John chapter 4 verse 24. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. This verse teaches us the importance of genuine faith and devotion. The fifth teaching, we must pass faith to the next generation. Seth's son Enosh was part of the first generation to publicly seek God. This reminds us to teach children about God so that faith continues. Yes, we should teach our children about God and children about God so that the faith can continue. And we pass it on to the future generations. As seen in Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 6 to 7. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. The sixth teaching, God always preserves a remnant of faithful people. Even when Cain's descendants turned away, God had a faithful remnant through Seth's line. This reassures us that God always keeps a people for Himself, as seen in Romans chapter 11 verse 5. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. The seventh teaching, a pattern of seeking God is established. This verse lays the foundation for the importance of prayer and worship throughout history. It encourages us to develop a lifestyle of seeking God daily. We as Christians should pray and call on God daily. We should make time for prayer and worship every day. We as Christians should encourage others to seek God. We should share our faith and help others to turn to God in times of need. We as Christians should stay faithful even in an ungodly world. Like Seth's line, we should remain committed to God no matter what. Yes, we should always remain committed to God as Christians no matter what. We as Christians should teach the next generation about God. Yes, we as Christians should teach the next generation about God. Parents, mentors, and leaders should pass on faith through teaching and example. Yes, parents, mentors, and leaders should pass on faith to the future generations through teaching and as examples. We as Christians should remember that God preserves the faithful. Even when society moves away from God, He keeps a faithful remnant, such as Seth's line. We as Christians should worship God from a sincere heart. We should make sure our worship is real and comes from true devotion. We as Christians should develop a lifestyle of seeking God. We should not only seek God in emergencies, but make it a usual habit. So that's all I had for today, guys. The final episode of chapter 4. We are done with chapter 4. Next up is chapter 5. Thank you very much, and as usual, God bless.